Did you know the average 80s teenager spent more time decorating their bedroom walls than doing homework? From glow-in-the-dark posters to phone cords stretched across the room, these sacred spaces were shrines to pop culture, teenage rebellion, and cassette tape dreams. One look and you'd know exactly who they were. The wall of posters. Let's start with what hit you the moment you walked in. The wall of posters. Every 80s teen had one. And it wasn't subtle. We're talking floor-to-ceiling posters of Madonna, Michael Jackson, Duran, The Breakfast Club, or maybe that one shirtless image of Tom Selleck or Heather Locklear. These weren't just decorations. They were identity statements. You picked your favorites, bought them at the mall, carefully rolled them out at home, and stuck them up with tape or pins, even if your parents said you were ruining the paint. They curled at the corners, faded in the sun, and got replaced with new obsessions as time went on. But that poster wall, that was your personal billboard to the world, even if the only visitors were your siblings or your best friend from school. The boombox and cassette tape stash. No 80s bedroom was complete without a boombox sitting loud and proud on a nightstand, dresser, or milk crate. Whether it was blasting Bon Jovi or quietly dubbing a mixtape from the radio, it was your gateway to the world. And then there were the cassettes. Hundreds of them. Carefully labeled and organized, or not, in plastic cases, drawers, or shoeboxes. You had your favorites. The ones you rewound so many times the tape inside actually warped. The heartbreak mixtapes, the Friday night dance mixes, and of course, the one you made for someone special but never had the guts to give. The ritual of flipping the tape, fast-forwarding to your favorite track, or holding your breath during a perfect radio recording, static and all, was pure magic. The corded phone. For most teens in the 80s, privacy didn't mean locking your door. It meant stretching the phone cord into the hallway and whispering as quietly as you could. That long, curly cord was an icon. You could stretch it from your desk, around your bedpost, under the door, and into another universe. Sometimes it'd get so twisted it could stand up by itself. You'd spend half the call untangling it with one hand while doodling in a notebook with the other. This was your lifeline. Whether you were calling your crush, gossiping with friends, or pretending to be doing homework while secretly three-way calling someone else, your corded phone was everything. Glow-in-the-dark stars and blacklight posters. Once the lights went out, the real magic began. 80s bedrooms often came alive at night with glow-in-the-dark stars stuck to ceilings, and blacklight posters featuring tigers, mushrooms, or psychedelic patterns that lit up like neon dreams. These decorations weren't just trendy, they felt mystical. You'd lie back on your waterbed or beanbag chair, headphones in, watching the room pulse with color, imagining yourself on another planet, or just at a better high school. The stars would slowly fade, but the comfort of their soft glow made you feel like anything was possible. Like your room wasn't just four walls, it was your own personal galaxy. The lava lamp and the beanbag throne. A lava lamp wasn't just a lamp. It was a meditation device, a mood setter, and a silent, blobby therapist that danced quietly while you figured out who you were. It sat proudly next to your stack of Tiger Beat magazines or dog-eared Stephen King paperbacks, glowing warm pinks, purples, or reds. And then there was the beanbag chair, the unofficial throne of every cool 80s kid. You sank into it like a marshmallow. Getting out was another story, but who cared? It was the perfect spot to sit for hours, listening to music, playing Atari, or flipping through photo albums with your best friend. Sometimes they'd leak little white beads everywhere. But again, totally worth it. The alarm clock radio that never worked right. Before smartphones and smart speakers, we had the trusty alarm clock radio. Except, let's be honest, it didn't always wake you up on time. You'd set it to buzz, but it would suddenly switch to static or blast music at full volume at 3 a.m. These chunky plastic boxes usually had red LED numbers, big clunky buttons, and a snooze button that got more love than it deserved. Some had built-in cassette decks or rotating dials to tune in manually. No digital presets here. For many of us, the soft hum of the radio turning on was the first sound of the day. That or your mom shouting, "Turn it off before you're late." Sticker covered everything. If it had a surface, we covered it in stickers. Lockers, dressers, mirrors, headboards, folders, nothing was safe. Scratch and sniff stickers, Puffy unicorns, holographic skulls, band logos, Lisa Frank leopards, and Garfield with sarcasm. You name it, it was stuck somewhere. Sticker collecting wasn't just a hobby, it was a form of social currency. You traded them, saved the best ones for special spots, and had sticker books you guarded with your life. And let's not forget the agonizing decision of where to place that one perfect sticker. Because once it was down, there was no turning back. The drawer full of random junk that made sense. Only to you. Every 80s bedroom had it, the junk drawer. You know the one. It held broken cassette tape cases, single earrings, dried out lip balm, a bent paperclip, old arcade tokens, keychains with no keys, melted erasers, a fortune cookie slip, and that one rubber band that had no purpose but was yours. It was chaotic, messy, and completely off limits to anyone else. Because every item in that drawer, no matter how pointless, held a tiny memory. That ticket stub, your first concert, that safety pin, your DIY denim vest, that cracked friendship bracelet, a sleepover gone way too late. The ceiling fan with hanging beads or ribbons? Sure, ceiling fans were functional, but in the 80s they became art projects. We tied ribbons, plastic beads, glow sticks, or shoelaces to the pull chains. It turned every turn-off-the-light moment into a performance. And when the fan spun on high, those beads flew around like a helicopter blade. Dangerous? Maybe. Magical? Definitely. It was one of those things your parents didn't get. But to you, it made your room feel personalized. Like your own private wind tunnel of awesomeness. The DIY collage wall, your life cut out from magazines. Before Pinterest boards and TikTok mood videos, we had the collage wall. You'd cut out images from Teen Beat, 17, Rolling Stone, or Tiger Beat, and glue or tape them in beautiful chaos. There were movie stills, lyrics, celebrity crushes, fashion you'd never wear, and quotes that made you feel deep. You might not have had the words yet to express who you were becoming, but your wall did. Loud and clear. Sometimes it was messy, sometimes it was symmetrical, but always it was yours. The Puffy paint creations and DIY decor. Puffy paint wasn't just for t-shirts. It made its way onto mirrors, picture frames, bedroom doors, and even windows. Every 80s teen fancied themselves a designer, decorating anything that could hold paint with neon squiggles, glittery names, and bold, blocky hearts. You might have written your name in bubble letters on a pillowcase, or made a "Do Not Disturb" sign for your door in clashing colors. The results were always messy, awesome, and 100% you. Sometimes it peeled, sometimes it cracked. But you didn't care. That was your masterpiece, a secret candy or snack stash. Every 80s teen had one, a secret snack stash. Maybe it was a bag of Skittles buried in a shoebox, or a sleeve of Oreos tucked behind your cassette tapes. And let's be honest, sometimes it was the Halloween candy you refused to share, even in July. You hid it from siblings, from parents, from yourself. It was your midnight survival kit. Sometimes it got forgotten and melted into something unrecognizable. Other times, it saved the day after a bad phone call or during a late-night movie marathon with friends. The scent of Love's Baby Soft, Decor Noir, or that strawberry lip smacker. Before diffusers and designer candles, 80s bedrooms had their own iconic scents. Clouds of Love's Baby Soft, a splash of Decor Noir, or the unmistakable aroma of Bonnie Bell lip smackers in flavors like bubblegum and watermelon. You didn't wear these scents, you bathed in them. Your pillow smelled like them. Your clothes soaked them up. And anyone who walked into your room knew exactly who you were and what aisle of the drugstore you shopped from. It wasn't just fragrance, it was identity. You'd dab it before a phone call, spray it before a school dance, roll it on before bed, just in case. Plastic milk crates turned into furniture. Why buy a bookshelf when you had plastic milk crates? Every 80s bedroom had at least one, repurposed into storage units, nightstands, or makeshift record holders. They were colorful, stackable, and durable. You could cram them with vinyls, notebooks, magazines, or VHS tapes. Some teens even flipped them sideways and turned them into display shelves for trophies or stuffed animals. They squeaked when you moved them. They tipped over if you pulled the wrong book. But they were yours. And in a world before IKEA flat packs, they were the height of DIY decor. The desktop phone book with doodles on every page. Back before smartphones remembered numbers, you did it the old-fashioned way, with a little spiral-bound phone book full of handwritten entries. Friends' home numbers, crushes, emergency pizza delivery. And let's be real, it wasn't just a contact list, it was a canvas. You doodled hearts around certain names, drew lightning bolts, checkerboards, and spirals while you waited on hold. Some names were crossed out, drama, and others circled with a dozen exclamation marks. And when your friend changed their number, whiteout, or tape, or starting a brand new book from scratch just because. So what was in your 80s bedroom? Did you have one of those neon clocks that buzzed at 7 a.m.? A drawer full of friendship bracelets? A secret stash of notes from school? Let's hear about it in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more blasts from the past.